Hey everyone, I'm Airier, and this is how you're going to reach light level 385, 390, and then all the way to the light level cap of year 3 so far, hoping there's more, 400. Now, as you can see, I'm currently at the 391 myself, and I'm about to make the plunge into the final gap, but I just seem to never have a raid team, so fuck that. But to get to 385 though, well, this is actually kind of taking a step back. First off, before you do anything, all those exotics you got now, don't use them. Seriously. Do not use them. Put them in the vault. Ignore them. Forget them. Don't touch them. Trust me, you're not going to want to use them right away. Yes, it could get you 385 fast, but then you're really fucked up later on, because exotics decode up to the light level cap. There are not many things you can decode up to the light level cap, and by not many, I mean they are the only one. Do not touch them. Save them. Keep them. Don't touch them. I'm going to keep saying that a few times because you should just stop, drop, and specifically drop them in the vault. Leave them there. Now, when you're trying to get to 385 now, there's a lot of ways after the recent October update on how to get there. All the faction packages will drop to 385. So in that case, actually, they'll even drop to 390. So run factions. Go into the heroic strikes right over here. See these things? These are now useful again. The light level cap has been raised on the purples that drop from it, and from anything to 385. The rewards from here will go 385. Blues will get you to 365, so they might just be infusion fodder still. But if you need to get 385, every purple legendary engram will drop up to 385, so you can still use them to level up. Run the Archon's Forge. They will drop weapons and armor up to 385. And they'll keep dropping good ghosts and good artifacts, and they do drop now. I can confirm that. I'm using things infused from there. Yeah. 393, and this is actually the ghost that drops, well, one of two ghosts that drop from the Archon's Forge, the Pursuer Shell and the Questing Shell. They drop at different light levels, they go all the way up. The weapons and armor, though, stop at 385. But just run Archon's Forge, you're going to get a lot of engrams, you're going to get a lot of purples. It's probably the fastest way to get to 385, because everything drops there, and if you just get rid of everything but purple, you're going to quickly get to 385. Now, 390, where I'm at now, this is a little more difficult because purples drop out. Blues are already useless at this point. You can use the exotics, but just hold off on that. If you're at this point, I would say that if there's maybe one piece of armor holding you back significantly, like you have an exotic helmet and your helmet is, say, 5 or 6 light levels lower, then it might be worth using an exotic just to cover that. But in all circumstances, that's usually the worst possible solution. It's better to go into the tower, run around, do the entire faction rep upgrades where you go to Xur, you turn in 100 strange coins for 300 heavy synths, and just buy 3 levels off one of the vendors. That is not a bad way to do it. And this entire thing I should also mention, Crucible, the drops have no light level cap beyond the main one. They all drop to 400. Now, the drop rates are shit, so, yeah, take what you get there. But for the most part, that's still a possibility. I wouldn't recommend it if you want to actually do this, this year. Now, there's always the Nightfall, just, if it ever happens to be Shield Brothers with Solar like it is this week, fuck that shit. And of course, there's always the Raid, and the Raid is always good. But generally, if you're wanting to do hard mode, you want to be higher than 390. So getting there doesn't really work. Ideally, though, at this point, you're going to be relying on just a couple ways to get to this point. You're going to want to do faction packages. You're going to want to do the raid, not the raid chest, well, you're going to want to do the strike chest at the end. So you're going to need skeleton keys. They're dropping a little more frequently now, but you might not get them. Some people I know have been swamped by them, and those people are lucky bastards. I haven't. Generally, though, the 385 to 390 is completely about factions. Although I would like to add, if you want to run into Iron Banner when it comes up, or Trials of Osiris, I would recommend farming Trials. Just run in, lose as fast as you can, and hope for an armor drop. They're light level perfected, or they're a little light level whenever you... I'm going to just... me no English well. Whenever you lose an Osiris and you get armor, it's always in reference to your current light level. So if you're losing, make sure you're losing at the highest light level possible. If you get armor, it'll be a little higher. I got a video further in my channel, so check that out. It'll show you how to use that more efficiently. If you do Iron Banner, though, just throw yourself into it whole hog. The bounties will get you stuff. The armor that drops from it will be light level adjusted. Same with the weapons. And then there's just the level caps you hit. They'll also give you stuff. Iron Banner right now is the best way to enable you to level up. It's just once a month, so yeah. Take it or leave it. And usually take it, but most of the time you can't even do that. Other than that, those are the ways to get you to 390. They're a little more limited, but I'd like to mention, I didn't say anything about the raid. That's because the normal mode raid caps out at 385. You'll never get anything above 385 in there. Now, there is that third monitor chest, the really annoying one to open, that actually does give you a guaranteed engram drop, specifically an exotic engram. Yeah, that's actually pretty damn good regardless of the raid, and I would recommend running normal for that, because it's probably about as fast as running anything in the Crucible with strange coins. You just do it once a week, though. Now, for the 390 to 400 part, this is where you want to use exotics, but you want to use them tactfully. You're going to be using it to cover specific holes in what you have. Now, like I mentioned before, if you have something really low, use exotic to cover it. That is exactly what you do with an exotic here. You're going to want to run trials. You're going to want to run Osiris. You're going to want to run the raid. Because at this point, you're high enough light level where the raid, parts of it will still kick your ass, but at least that opening boss will still give you drops, and he's not that much harder, so you can deal with him still. And the rest of the raid, if you can run it, great. But it'll give you armor. The exotics will cover any little holes you get, and you can use them to plug in and get your light level above any walls you might run into. And of course, Iron Banner. And Trials too, but Iron Banner, which is probably the best way to level up in this game. Now, Archon's Forge is still viable, but it only drops either ghosts or artifacts above the 390 level. That said, we finally have a dedicated source of ghosts and artifacts, thank God. Oh, and technically faction packages also have a higher chance of dropping an artifact or a bond. That said, I've yet to see an artifact drop from any faction packages, and the bonds are also still incredibly, the class items, they dropped absurdly often regardless of the updates to that. Literally, I would go for armor and get 2 bonds. Fuck that shit. So yeah, that's pretty much how you get to 400. Now that's what I'm working on right now, so it'll just be a few minutes. If this was Iron Banner, that actually would be pretty accurate. I'm pretty sure once that hits around, the light level cap will be reached by a lot of people. And it might actually just be next week, considering when they want to start up. It really does depend. Overall, though, hope this helped everyone. Just, again, I gotta reiterate, early on, before you hit 390, hold on to the exotics. Do not use them. They will screw you over so badly if you don't. Just take your time with it. And don't forget to have fun. I really would recommend the Archon's Forge. Just, it's fun to be in there if you get a chain going. Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you can, hit that little subscribe button right down in the corner. Just press it a few times. The first one's the only one that matters, but press it again just for the hell of it. Why not? Yeah, I know. I'm a huge dork. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to leave a like, comment if you want, and hey, if you find any other little exploits to work, or say you find out little farming techniques, hit me up. I'm always interested in finding new ones. I will definitely use them as well. And thanks again, everyone, for watching. Later.